Alright, so the stream is on now, guys. Sorry it took a bit, but fucking KO was not working again. I'm not surprised, but anyway, we've got Carlton in front by 1 goal early. Akers with the football now goes high and long towards the forward 50. Up went Martin, couldn't bring it down. Brisbane do well there to clear it with Andrews. Long and wide ball. Did well Zorko in front to thump it forward, but now it's all Carlton back here. They work through hands now. McGovern goes for a bit of a stroll on the wing. Sends the ball high and long once again towards Mackay. Couldn't get up there. Good work from Gardner. Dunkley on the ground does well to McKenna. Little inside outer ball on the outside of his boot wasn't the best, so Hewitt can cut it off. Handball over the top towards Cripps. He tries to break past McKenna. Great tackle from Connor McKenna. Should have got rewarded. And he did as well. So now Brisbane have the football back here with Dunkley. Gives it off to Leicester. They work it through hands. Archie about to get shut down. Great way to step past one and got away. Zorko just took the contact from Boyd. Drops the ball on the ground. Could be a bit in trouble, but the umpire calls for a ball up. A lot of Carlton fans at the prelim at the Gabba tonight. So McInerney wins it down once again. Akers spun and did well. Gives it off to Chera. He thumps it back inside the forward 50. Great work in front there with Starskovic, who's got a big job on Jack Martin tonight. So Starskovic looks like he's going to go set the same wing once again. He goes long and high to Koning. Pushes his opponent under the ball brilliantly and takes the mark. So now to Koning, wheels and goes. Again, sends a high ball towards the forward 50. Andrews, easy thump away, gets it out of bounds. Jesse Motlop in the team tonight. It was a big call. Matt always was dropped for this match. Jared Lyons is the sub for the Lions, and Matthew Kennedy's sub for the Blues, for anyone wondering. Just outside the Carlton forward 50. McInerney wins it down towards Dunkley. Got it sucked out of his hands by Walsh. Berry did well. Gives it off to Bailey. He goes for a bit of a run. Sends a tumble punt towards the forward 50. Read it well there, Marchbank. Try to get a torpy there to try to get out the back there, Bailey. Wasn't the option, I don't think. So can't work it out wide on the bounce to Chera. Wiedering kicks it long and high again. Martin played for the free. And Starskovic takes the mark. So Starskovic in short to Leicester. Leicester to Andrews. So Brisbane just absorbing a lot of pressure at the moment. A lot of inside 50s for Carlton. Only the 1 goal to show for it though. Now Andrews goes long again towards that outer wing. Not the best option. Akers did well to knock it away. Keeps it inbounds for the moment. Handballs towards Walsh. Been brilliant in this final series. He goes long towards Motlop and Curnow. Leicester, great work to thump it towards the boundary line out of bounds. So forward pocket here for the Blues. Oh, throws it in. McInerney wins it down again. Chera met by 2 Lions. Neil is one of them. And it's a repeat stoppage here. So DeConing wins that one down. McInerney, little toe on that ball. Cripps dove in. Couldn't get it out of there. Now it trickles out to Berry. Did okay to get it to McInerney, but now it spills out to Martin. Spins on the left boot. High ball towards goal. Swinging too much and sneaks through further behind. So first blemish for Carlton. So Kitty Coleman take the kick in here for the Lions. He's looking again on this outer wing towards the interchange gates here at the Gabba. Long ball towards Hipwood. Got up, didn't get a hand on it. It trickles out the back towards Newman, who kept it inbounds for the moment. Handball over the top almost to space, but it actually worked. Walsh got the 1-2 back to Newman. He sends it inside the forward 50. Mackay in front of him to bring it to ground. Fighting hard there is Martin. Free kick's been ripped out. And it's going to go to Harry Mackay. So a big opportunity here for Harry Mackay. Missed a lot in his first final. Missed out with concussion in the second. This is for the world of confidence if he can nail this. He will be going around the body. Not a lot of angle, but probably is warranted to go around the body from here. A long thought. Mackay comes in. Slams it home! And the Blues have the first two. That will do the confidence the world of good for Harry Mackay. And the teammates get around him. Huge crowd represented for Carlton at the Gabba this afternoon. Great start as well. Oh, that's weak as piss. Fuck me, that's weak. So we're back in the middle once again. Pitnet wins it down to Bailey though. Out to McCluggage, was brilliant in the first final. Sends it high towards the forward 50. In front was Danaher. Almost dragged it down. Newman fighting hard. Danaher almost dragged that one in. Umpire balls it up. Pitnet wins it down. Fighting hard was Bailey again. Legged Shero. Could be in trouble for that. In fact, it was Dunkley. Newman slapped it into free space here for Hollands to run onto. Got the full start this afternoon. Sends it out wide towards Mackay. Good mark. Heads into the crowd in the Carlton brigade over there. Chucked him back in the field of play. The Blues can go forward here. Now Mackay looking for the option. Again, high and long towards Curnow as the option. Gardner did well to slap it away from him. Dunkley just got a bad bounce. McCluggage did well. Bailey just gets it out of there. Gets some territory forward here for the Lions. Wiedering handled over the top brilliantly to Boyd. They do well there, the Blues. Boyd short, kick on the bounce to Chera. He gives it back to Boyd, out wide, finds Walsh. Walsh now, great smother there in front there from the Lions player, Coleman. Across his body, just got a bad bounce there, Boyd. Got met hard, but good tackle on Danaher. Just got the ball away, but now Newman sends the ball out wide. Great kick in the end on the bounce to McGovern. McGovern works it in short to Walsh. Strong hands. Takes a great mark. Had to take that one there, Walsh, and did well. How you doing, Random Roars? What are you up to this afternoon? Sends the ball inside the forward 50 to Koning and Curnow. Just got out of the grass. Motlop picks it up. Little inside outer job wasn't good enough, and Fletcher takes the mark. Don't know if that was 15, but Fletcher takes it. So Fletcher in the defensive goal square. Massive first final for him in his career against Port Adelaide. Kicked 3 goals. Long kick towards Rayner. Should have taken that. Had 2 hands on it. Couldn't bring it down. Berry kept it inbounds for the moment. Got the 1-2. Did well. Now the Lions can go. Kick on the wing is good. Finds Hipwood on the lead. True centre wing now. He gets a little bit of space. Hipwood and goes long with the kick. 3-on-2 in Blues' favour. McCarthy did okay. And they get it finally inside the forward 50 of the Lions and get a stoppage. Who are you going for? As a neutral supporter, I'd probably be going for Brisbane, but yeah, that's just me. Back at the stoppage though, McInerney slapped it forward, but Chera kicks the ball towards the boundary line. Could be in trouble here for a deliberate, and the umpire pays it. The Lions will get the free kick here. Leicester now goes for a little bit of a stroll, then kicks it back inside the forward 50. Long ball, under it all day was Pitnet. Takes a good mark. So now Pitnet's going to have to go long and high again. They've just been playing on this outer wing all game so far. Great contested mark there from McInerney. Wanting to give it off to Coleman, decides not to. Wheels and goes. Long ball once again. High towards the forwards. Marchbank gets in front. Danaher from behind. Did well to bring it to ground. McCarthy out the back towards Berry. Now to Zorko. Little bit of magic. Kicks it. Get good smother there from Boyd. But it didn't go out far enough. Berry gives it off to McCarthy, who gets immediately met by Chera. Drags him to ground. Ball still out into traffic. Zorko off the ground. Motlop's there. Takes the mark. So now Motlop, not usually seen in the defensive 50, does well there to get back though for his team. So now Cottrell hasn't been on his wing so far. Wanted to give it to Akers, but couldn't. Decides to go long 2-on-1 here, Curnow. Held the jumper of Gardner. Should have got a free kick. Wasn't paid. Gets spoiled towards Robinson. Great little step from Robertson. He sends it inside the forward 50, but it's all Carlton. McGovern takes the mark. It was a good play from Robertson until he went for the kick and he just blazed away. Carlton doing well in defence early. So McGovern takes his full measure. Sends it long. Did well in front there. Mackay brings it to ground. Motlop dragged down there by Robertson. And a call for the ball here, the umpire. 9.5 minutes to go on this first term. Carlton have the only 2 goals of this one. So Pinnet tried to take it out of the ruck, just couldn't grasp it. McCluggage almost fell into the back of Hewitt. He handles towards the boundary line. Bailey keeps it in for the moment. It actually stays in for a lot longer than that. Chera gets the kick away, but it's cut off by Coleman. So now Brisbane have the football at half back. Coleman has Fletcher in short, decides to go there now. So Brisbane just have to take a little bit of the sting out of this one at the moment. They've done well to keep the scoreboard in grasp. They're only 13 points down despite a really hard one so far. Goes long. Pinnet missed it. Out the back towards Danaher. Went to give off the handball. Now goes long. Blazed away again. Cottrell couldn't get there. Nearly took it out of bounds and then he did. So it'll be a stoppage inside the forward 50 here for the Lions. You're the only one watching. Oh well. That's alright. They're probably watching the game itself. So inside the forward pocket here for the Lions. Chance here to get a stoppage goal. Get themselves right back into it. Neal went down. Didn't get the free kick for it. McInerney just slapped it forward. On the bounce. It stays in bounds from Cottrell and then slaps it through for a rush behind. Had no pressure on him, but the umpire's not going to pay that. McGovern goes in short, finds Cottrell, he gives the 1-2. McGovern now drives the long ball in the guts of the Gabba. High ball towards Curnow again. Good work from Gardner, he's done well early. He thumps it long, Pitnet running after it, couldn't get there. Gragged out with Hipwood, should be gone, and he is. And the umpire calls 50 as well for Starsfish kicking it away. So a chance here for Carlton to get their third. So Jack Martin gets to the 50-metre penalty. He didn't have enough distance to kick from 60 out, but brings him right into almost the goal square. Jack Martin comes in, should nail it, and he does! At the Carlton end of the Gabba, they have 3. Lions have been blitzed early. Blues have a good early lead. Goal kickers so far are Matt Cottrell, Jack Martin, who just kicked that one, and Harry Mackay. The umpire slams it down in the middle of the ground. Danaher's gone in there, but Pinnet wins it down. Rayner tried to break the tackle, then got dragged down. Just got a handball away. Neal playing for the free, wasn't going to give it. Now Cripps out wide to Motlop. Kicks it inside the forward 50 on the bounce. Worked hard there, Andrews. Broke past one. He needs to lift as captain. He's done well there. Gives it out wide. Fletcher just gives it off to Lester in time. He goes with a short kick. Lester, terrible option. Cut it off there, Akers, and the Blues want to go again. Marchbank inside to Hewitt. Now Walsh has a handball option out wide. It's his captain in Cripps. He wants to send a low ball inside the forward 50. And all on his own. Inspirational leader in Doherty. The Blues are on at the moment. They are red hot, and the Lions can't stop them. They're all over the ground at the moment, the Blues. The Lions really need to shut this down. But at the moment, Sam Docherty lines up. Was a bit of a question mark on him all week. He got up for the game. He comes in now. And boy, is he loving it! Sam Docherty gets the goal. They have 4. Brisbane really need a lift right now. Still just under 7 minutes in this first term. Pitnet takes it out of the ruck to Hewitt, and he goes long again. They're blitzing them at the moment. Long ball towards Charlie! Takes a great mark! They're all over them at the moment, the Blues. So Charlie Curnow, his form has been questioned in the final series, only kicking 2 goals. 1 in the first final, 1 in the second final. A chance here to kick his first right here and give the Blues a massive 30-point lead. 80 goals this season for Charlie. Make that 81! Sneaks it in. Curnow nails a big one. Can you believe this start for the Blues? Still 6 minutes to go in this first quarter. The Blues have kicked the only 5 goals of it. Brisbane are shell-shocked. Brisbane really need a lift in the middle of the ground. Pitnet takes it out of the ruck and another clearance here for the Blues. Dribbling ball out wide, miss Coleman. It gets to Martin, gets pushed off it, but now Fogarty reads it well. Sends it again inside the forward 50 towards Curnow. Great mark from Andrews though. He's lifting as one at the moment, Andrews. He needs some followers with him. Berry works it out wide now, finds Robertson. Half back at the moment here, the Lions, but they've got absolutely shell-shocked in this first quarter. Robertson sends a high ball towards the wing. Rayner cut it off his own man in Archie. The Blues are winning every little win at the moment. Wiedering just out of his grasp and runs out of bounds on the broadcast side. So again, we're back in the ruck on the wing. Danaher won it down, but the Blues have the ball. Docherty just fumbled it, and now sends it long here. Danaher on the bounce to Wiedering. Did well to smother that ball from bouncing past him. Rayner was held without it. Should get the free kick. How was the umpire miss that? That's a shocking decision. Danaher wins it down, but it's all Blues. Marchbank kicks it towards the boundary line. It goes towards Cripps and it runs out. So it'll be another stoppage here. Held there by Danaher, but he's playing for it a little. He did get the free kick, though. So Brisbane finally get a free, and it is probably deserved. They deserved one a few moments ago to Rayner, who was held off the ball. Wasn't paid, but now Danaher has it. Will's on the left boot and sends a high ball. Not a very good kick, and he's wasted that there, Joe Danaher. Got the distance, but just wasted it. You'd probably expect the Brisbane Lions to have their moments in this game to get right back into it, but at the moment, the Blues are just all over them. Sard goes long in front, Mackay! Didn't get the 50, but he takes a great couple of contested marks early. Mackay playing up the ground, which he needs to do to get Charlie one out inside their forward 50. Mackay goes long towards the half forward. Curnow at the back. Couldn't mark it, but Martin's out there. Gives it off. Fogarty just fumbled at the crucial stage. Keeps it in bounds for the moment, but it goes out of bounds. So again, inside the Blues forward 50. They got a little bit unlucky there, the Blues. Curnow almost took a great mark. Then Martin's handball to Fogarty was actually good, but then he dropped the sitter. Working hard now, the Lions. McInerney sends a good 20-metre handball outside the defensive 50, but it's coming back. Akers to Boyd. Sends a long ball inside the forward 50. Again, Cripps went up. Couldn't bring it down, though. I think it's the highest Paddy Cripps has ever got up off the ground. Yeah, not a very good start for them. Simply Norman, I agree with you. I was hoping Brisbane would win this as well, but they're getting beaten up all over the ground at the moment. To Koning, that was almost a volleyball to parry. That was a little bit lucky he got away with that. McInerney into Koning. De Koning slaps it towards the boundary line. Neal keeps it in for the moment and gets taken out of bounds. Still just over 3.5 minutes in this first quarter. Blues have it locked inside their forward 50. De Koning gets the front spot, slaps it towards Fogarty. Couldn't get there. Coleman met hard. Cripps, good tackle. McInerney slaps it at the back. McKenna did well to get it to Robertson. Tried to break out of the tackle. Actually did really well. Neal over the top towards Bailey. Gets met hard by Newman. Coming the other way. Did well. Gives it off to Akers. Goes high ball long towards the goal square. Working hard as Curnow. Andrews did well. Did well to read that spoil as well. Gets the handball away towards Wilmot. He's good with the run. Did well to get the handball over the top. He can almost run onto this himself, Coleman. Against the grain did well. He goes inboard. Good kick in the end too. Now the Lions can go. Oh, they didn't read it. Oh, everything's going wrong for the Lions at the moment. McKenna can't get there. Chincotta spun out of trouble and left the ball behind. Slaps it towards the boundary line off the ricochet of Dunkley. And it runs out of bounds. Lions fans not impressed, but it did come off the ricochet of Dunkley. They finally had a bit of space there, the Lions, and they messed it up. Just have to settle at the moment. Chris Fagan needs to get out there and talk to his men at the moment. They're getting blitzed and they don't know how to stop it. De Koning takes it out of the ruck, the handball towards Dunkley. Met hard by Hollins. Great tackle from the young man. Just got the handball away. Robertson jams it on the boot. Half forward once again. Rayner just out of his grasp. Marchbank did well. Doherty left the ball behind. Here's a chance. Neal got a really hot handball. Couldn't gather it cleanly. Working hard there was McCarthy. It fumbles out of his grasp. Marchbank just kicks it towards the wing. Working hard there was Robertson. Did well, but now Hollins kicks it towards half forward on the bounce. Mackay in front. Andrews tackled well by Martin. And a stoppage at that 60 out from Carlton's goal. Koning got a big hit there from Robertson. Back in the ruck now. McInerney gets the handball towards Berry. Did well. Great smother though from Cripps. Hollins, good tackle on Dunkley, but great work given the Lions. They're out the front of the stoppage. Bailey over the top to Rayner. Handballs out wide to Robertson. He's got Berry riding shotgun. He gives it to him now. Berry looks inboard. Good kick in the end. That's smart footy. And he finds Eric Hipwood. That's better from the Lions. Great work there from the Lions. That's what they need to do better. He could have blazed away there, bro, but great experience just to look inboard, find Eric Hipwood, and this just has to go through. So Eric Hipwood called to come in now. Not much angle to speak of. Kick from about 35 out. Hipwood comes in. Kicks towards goal. That's what the Lions ordered. Hipwood kicks to the goal. They've finally got there first, late in the first term. So just over a minute to go in this first quarter. Lions finally get there first. Real pressure kick there from Hipwood. He did well to nail it. McInerney takes it out of the ruck, then handballed straight off the ricochet there from the Carlton player. Walsh did okay. Handball got smothered, but in Newman working hard. Chero, great tackle from Dunkley. Locked up the arm. Umpire calls for the ball. McInerney slaps it forward on the bounce towards Newman. He met it hard, did well to take that ball, and then hold the ball just to not let it go, not let the Lions break away. Charlie Cameron well held in this first term. Taccone slaps it down. McCluggage held without it. Wasn't paid. Now Hewitt did well to get the ball out towards Akers. Handball, great work there from Akers to Walsh. Out wide to Martin. Just got a handball away to Marchbank. He kicks out wide. Good kick. Cottrell does well. He's been brilliant this year, Matt Cottrell. Kicks the ball out wide. He finds Curnow. So Curnow on the lead. He wheels and goes. High ball inside the forward 50 to Mackay. Did well there, Andrews. Just pushed him out of it, worried him out of that play. Back to Wilmot, who just gets a high ball towards the wing. Cottrell sits under it. Great work from Gardner. Slaps it out of bounds. So 12 seconds to go in this first quarter. Blues lead it by 23 points. DeConing types it down. Well done there, Neil. McCluggage kicks the ball towards the wing, just out of the grasp of Danaher. Umpire's going to run in and play the deliberate here. So 3 seconds to go. That will be the quarter time score, unless something crazy happens here. Wittering goes long towards a pack of players. Brisbane have McInerney there. But a quarter time, the Blues, if you've just joined us, has absolutely blitzed the Lions on their home deck. And a quarter time, the Blues lead 5-1-31 to Brisbane, 1-2-8. Right, guys, so at quarter time, we have leading disposal getters on the ground, Sam Walsh and Jared Berry, probably being the best players for both their teams at this stage. We have Josh Dunkley with the 9, along with Blake Acres, and then George Stewart has the 8 as well. And then to the goal scorers, we have 1 goal kicked for Brisbane so far, which is courtesy of Eric Hipwood late in that first term. And the top 3 for Carlton at the moment, all single goal kickers are Harry Mackay, Jack Martin, and Sam Doherty. I hate that advert. Fucking, I don't know why I don't like that Macca's ad. All the AFL teams. Oh, that's that's annoying. I don't know why. That's pretty epic. Weird lady, I don't know. Sorry, I'm just talking to myself because I'm watching the ads at the moment. That's basically what I do during the quarters. God, my hair looks average. Had bedhead. So everyone's lined up, ready to go for the second term. Brisbane down by 23 points at quarter time. They've been to this situation before in prelim finals. They've been bashed up in the final game before the grand final. Can they come back in this one? Back in the middle, McInerney trying hard, but Cripps does well. Handballs towards Fogarty, who's playing in the middle of the ground for the moment. High ball towards Kerno, nearly dragged in with a one arm. Starskovic gets a kick away towards the wing. I think it's going to be called deliberate. Umpire runs towards it and pays deliberate, as I say. So just in front of the Brisbane interchange gates will be McGovern with the footy. So McGovern goes long and high towards the pocket. Up goes the Koning. Out the back, Mackay. Dribbles one towards goal. Got a good bounce, but didn't get it in between the big sticks. Don't know about dribbling it as well. It was Gardner was sitting in the goal square. I don't know what he was thinking. He should have kicked it high. That was a dumb decision from Mackay. But anyway, McKenna has the kick in here for the Lions. Long ball in. Well done there from Dunkley. Got up well. He gives off the handball. That was a little bit hot-handed. Don't know about that. Hibwood got met hard. Now the Blues cause a turnover. Great work from McCluggage, though. Slapped it away, but then he lost the ball. The Blues get the ball back. Marchbank tackled well. He kicks it out on the full. So the Lions will get it. Right in front of the benches, the Lions have the footy. So Lockie Neal has the footy now. High ball towards the wing. Danaher did well to bring it to ground, but it's all Blues here. Newman. Great tackle, though, from Hipwood. Holding the footy goes the Lions' way. So the Lions have lifted. Hipwood got the ball smothered. Just a little bit hot again. They just got to calm down a little. Robertson, great tackle from Hewitt. That's holding the ball as well. So Hewitt has the ball in the defensive 50. Former Swan played in the 2016 Grand Final. Obviously didn't get the Premiership Cup there. High ball towards the wing again. Andrews slaps it away from him. Holland's fighting hard. Dunkley just got booted the ball on that one. Sticked his toe. Berry did well. Ball inside the forward 50. Up goes McCarthy! Oh, almost took a brilliant mark. Cameron, good tackle on Sard. Drags him down. And Charlie Curnow gets dragged off like a ragdoll from a couple of Blues defenders. Flying the flag here, Wiedering and Hipwood for both their sides. Jumper's getting ripped to shreds at the moment on Hipwood. It gets dumped towards the goal square. Both of them are still fighting. Hipwood off the ground. McCarthy couldn't get it through. Danaher fighting hard. Akers just got a hand free there. Boyd did well to Doherty. Free kick's been ripped out. I think it's Carlton's way because they take the advantage. The Blues now have it with Newman. Newman across his body did well. Find Fogarty on the wing. Did well there. Get to the back there, Newman, but his poor kick cut off there by Coleman. Great work there from the Lions just to cut that one off. So he goes back to Gardner. Came into the side this week for Jack Payne, who's been massive this year for the Lions. So Gardner really has to step up. Back to Coleman. Just can't go inboard at the moment. The Blues locked that up. So Coleman has to go down the line again towards Danaher. Great work, though. In front there was Marchbank. Poor play there from the Brisbane forwards. They have to bring this ball to ground. Didn't fight hard enough. So now Marchbank. High and long towards the forward 50. Curnow and Gardner. Good work from Gardner. Gets the free kick for his troubles. So Gardner goes in short to Dunkley. In short. Finds McCluggage. Needs to work into this game. Hugh McCluggage had a massive influence in the game against Port Adelaide in the qualifying final. He goes long down the line towards Hipwood. Got nudged under it a little. He gets the free kick as well. So a couple of free kicks going Brisbane's way early in the second term. McGovern wasn't really arguing the situation. He goes in short to Coleman. He's got an option over the top when they go. Does well. Looking for a bit of space here. McCluggage, low ball, great kick. And he finds McInerney, the big guy on the lead. The big O. Great work there from McInerney. Had Wiedering on him in that stage. Just found a little bit of space and the kick was brilliant. McCluggage's kick was good inside the forward 50. And a chance here for Brisbane to get two in a row. One in the late in the first term. This is the first goal of the second. McInerney comes in. 45-degree angle. About 30 out. Drills it towards goal. Holds the line brilliantly. The big O nails it. Lions have got the last two. Great work there from the Lions. They're just starting to turn the gears at the moment, just finding a little bit of space when they need it. They may not be winning it their way, but they're winning a little bit of chances when they have them. Pitnet wins it down towards Hewitt, just out of his grasp. Wilmot overran it though. Zorko did well though. Gives it off to Coleman. He finds some space. Left foot ball, low ball towards Danaher. What a kick from Coleman! Barely got over head height of Joe Danaher. That kick went 60 metres. And a chance here for the Lions to get to back in 2 goals. What a kick from Coleman. One of the best kicks in the comp. That ball did not come 3 metres off the ground. That was a brilliant kick. So Joey Danaher had a massive year. Kicked 36 goals, 21 from set shots this year. Has always had a problem with these sort of kicks. Joey Danaher doesn't have a problem now though. Nails the goal. Back to within 12 points. Lions have the last 3. That was a brilliant kick from Coleman. That is one of the best field kicks of the year. So back to 12 points. And we're only 5 minutes gone in this second term. McInerney wins it down. Dunkley held without it. Should have got a free. Wasn't paid. Great little dashing handball there from Bailey. Zorko inside the forward 50, but Wiedering takes it well. He plays on. Didn't really have an option to go to. Now he goes to the low ball towards the wing. On the bounce to Motlop. Couldn't grasp it and runs out of bounds. So we're back in the middle, back on the middle of the wing here on the broadcast side. Pitnet, both ruckmen miss it. Fighting hard there was Bailey. Great tackle from Hollands. He's done well with the tackling so far. Pitnet couldn't grab it cleanly. Walsh fighting hard. Both players overran it. Neil, great handball. Wilmot, not so much with the kick. Kicks it out on the full. Played a semi and a prelim last year for Wilmot. His first 2 games. Cripps now goes long. High towards the 50. Great mark from Martin. He can wheel and go. He's got Curnow running into the pocket. Decides not to go there. Decides to go high and long. Not a good kick. All Brisbane there. One of them's Leicester. They had a really good chance there, the Blues, but he just wasted the kick. So now the Lions have the football in the back pocket. Fletcher in short to Leicester. That should be 50, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. Umpire giving the players a little bit of a reprieve being a final. Gardner wants to give it off to someone. It's Charlotte Cameron of all people in the back 50 trying to get a touch. Long ball towards the wing. Hipwood couldn't bring it down. Terrible handle from McCarthy. And now Chincotta cuts it off. Pin net back to Chincotta. And Brisbane gets dragged down. Just got a kick away. Not 15. Hewitt gets the kick handball away towards McGovern. Good tackle from Zorko. And a stoppage called. Got very lucky there, Paddy Cripps. He was hot. Just got a kick on that. Snuck up on him very quietly there, the Brisbane player. McInerney slaps it forward a good 30 metres on the bounce to Charlie Cameron. Great read there from McCarthy. Couldn't pick it up. Charlie gives off the handball towards McCarthy just out of his grasp. Boyd has some time. Did well with the kick too. He's had a good game so far, Jordan Boyd. Came into the team this week. Was a bit of a surprise. It was very surprising to see 3 changes from the Blues. But they wanted to keep the fresh legs on this one. Akers goes long. Great work in front there, Andrews. Mackay's got the free kick, though. So Mackay's got a hold. He's looking for the handball here. Walsh, he won't get it. Mackay now. Low ball inside the forward 50. Not a very good kick. Leicester cuts it off again. Something that Carlton have to be careful of. It's something that they've fallen into the trap to in the first 2 finals. Of just wasting the kicks inside the forward 50. It hasn't worried them so far, but it could worry them tonight. Akers now on the wing, handballs towards Mackay, who gets met hard by Coleman. Both teams are lifted in this second term. Fletcher, good smother there from Hewitt. McInerney got met hard by Fogarty. Good tackle there from the little guy. And about 2 good kicks away from Carlton's goal. Umpire calls for it. McInerney did well on the ruck there. Got a kick away. Dribbling ball towards the wing. Newman will get back first. Had some time. Has to get back on his left boot, though. Oh, Zorko put him down behind play. Should be a free kick down the field. It wasn't. Coleman fighting hard. Great work there from Hewitt. Got taken down there by Fletcher. It'll be a ball up. A ball in, sorry. Still 12 minutes to go in the second term. Brisbane have kicked the last 3 goals. Carlton kicked the first 5. Game of momentum at the moment. McInerney wins it down. Dunkley did well to get off the handball. Just couldn't grasp that run there, Bailey. Fletcher got taken down there by Doherty. Fighting hard there was Bailey to get the ball out. Had an arm held. McInerney once again takes it out of the ruck. Got a little dribbling ball out of there, but it will come back with Chera. Chera somehow found Walsh off the ground. Coleman, that wasn't 15. Did well to hold that ball in possession, and the umpire calls for it again. McInerney had a pretty good game so far. Good slack down to find Bailey. Ball towards the middle of the ground. Sard and Cameron. Sard went the ball. Cameron went the body. Sard, good mark. Sard plays on without really many options. He just gives it off. Finds Newman. Newman doesn't have an option, so it goes back to Sard, who kept on running, did well. Started at the Gold Coast, went to the Bombers. Now in a prelim final for the Blues. Sends the ball long here towards the Telstra logo at 50. Gardner from 3 deep thumped it away. McCluggage let it bounce. Wilmot gets a kick away and actually found it well to Zorko. He sends a tumble punt towards the forward 50. It's all the Blues here. Wiedering has some time. Gives it off to Newman. And he goes back to Wiedering inside the defensive 50 here, the Blues. He's got Doherty in short. That's where he goes now. Blues just trying to take a little bit of sting out of this one. They know the Lions have the momentum at the moment. Doherty works it out wide. 3-on-1 in the Blues' favour. Zorko couldn't do much there. Marchbank tried to get a handball away. So Marchbank goes to the football right now. Had a pretty good start to this one. Sends the ball towards 50 again. Andrews pushed out Mackay. It looks like they're going to give the mark to Doherty, to Koning. He plays on now to Koning. Left foot ball towards goal. Great work from Archie to slap that one through for a behind. Dane Zorko's just came from the ground with a sore groin at the moment, so that's actually a big talking point. Kick now for Wilmot outside the defensive 50. Wide ball. It's going to go out on the full too. It was a good option to bury, but he just miskicked it. Got a little bit too much on it. So the Koning will take the kick here. De Koning now goes long again. Absolute helicopter of a ball. Gets spoiled towards the goal face here of the Blues. Gardner just gave it off to Wilmot. He's got some pace, this guy. Sends the ball along towards the interchange gates here. Hipwood took a great contested mark. And it's actually going to be a little bit against the play there for the Lions. They're about to run away with it, but you can't take an advantage from a mark. In short, Hipwood finds Coleman. Coleman looking inboard. That's a brilliant kick from Coleman. He finds Archie on the run. Kicks it long towards the goal square. Cameron out the back. Oh, he dropped the sitter. And Boyd does well to save it through for a behind. Charlie Cameron had it in the breadbasket and let it fall out. Very well done there from Jordan Boyd as well. Just to slap it through quickly. Was stuck in a really tough spot there. But he's done well just to put a little bit of pressure on Charlie Cameron, sorry. And great work there from the Blues just to scramble back in defence. So now Sard's going to have to go long here. Launches the long ball towards the outer wing where they've played most of the night. Starskovic thumps it away towards Fletcher. Does want to shake off Cottrell. In short, that wasn't 15. Walsh takes the mark, though. It was paid. So a 50-metre penalty against the Lions. So Walsh should be taken to the wing. Walsh tried to draw 100. He didn't get it. Walsh thumps it long towards Mackay. Should have taken it. Had 2 hands on it. Gets tackled well by McInerney. And ball up, it's called. Motlop trying to back out of that play. Couldn't get out of there. And the umpire calls for it again. DeConing wins it down towards Cripps. He tried to grab it. Played for the free and he got it, Paddy Cripps. Wasn't the hold. It was actually the high hit. I think it was from... Actually, I'm not too sure who that was from. But Cripps will get a free kick straight in front of goal. Yeah, so it's coming in front there. I think it's Starskovic. I mean, it's probably there because, I mean, it's not like... I mean, he's only had his head down to grab the ball. But, I mean, what is Starskovic supposed to do? So, Paddy Cripps now gets the free kick. Straight in front of goal, about 25 metres out. Shouldn't have an issue here. He's gone for a long run-up, though, Paddy Cripps. He comes in now. Not much angle to speak of. And Cripper drills the goal. Against the run of play, the Blues get their 6th. Oh, my neck, fuck. So Joe Danaher taking the ruck again against Pitternet. Pitternet wins it down at the back towards Cripps. He couldn't grab it. Held. Danaher wasn't paid. Neil stepped well. Gives it off back to Joe. He sends it spiral towards the forward 50. Marchbank read it. Couldn't bring it down though. Fighting hard as Rayner. He breaks through like a battering ram. Gives it off to Archie. And he's kicked the goal. Or has he? So Blake Acres has claimed that he's touched this. Well, that's not definitive. You cannot tell me that's definitive. That is not definitive to change the decision, mate. You cannot definitively tell me that that's touched his hair. That could have been... No! You can't say that! How can you say that? You don't know if that was him just jumping. That is not definitive evidence. That is shit. I can't believe that. That's a shocking decision. You cannot definitively tell me that that's touched his hair. That could have been anything. The way he jumped could have moved his hair in that same... Oh, that's a fuck decision. That's a shocking decision from the umpire. From the person... That is fucking dog shit. Even if it did touch his hair, let's say it did. That is not definitive evidence to... Oh, whatever. Whatever. Maybe I'm just fucking being cynical, but that just seemed a bit fucked to me. Anyway. Zorko goes inside the forward 50. Wiedering reads it well. He takes the mark. It's going to be a little bit calmer on the plays here, Brisbane. So Wiedering goes out wide to find Newman. It's okay, Pharaoh. So Newman goes long. Cripps good up, went up, couldn't bring it down. Robertson tackled well. Pidnet wins it down. Hewitt did well. Doherty gets a kick away. Sitting under it there is McKenna. Dropped the ball. Wouldn't have been paid a mark. It was touched. Akers tackles well. Danaher didn't go the ball. Completely missed everything. Pidnet taps it. Tunnel ball towards Walsh. Did well to tap it forward there. Cripps. Akers almost got it in the back. Did well Coleman to get out of his back. Legged there was the Brisbane player. Now take the advantage. McCluggage gives it off to Bailey. And now Joe gives it off towards McCluggage. He does want to get it over to Robertson. Joe Danaher's running. Don't know about that handball though. He doesn't have a right foot, so he has to give it back to Zorko. Over the top towards Danaher. Now he gets his left boot. Low ball inside the forward 50. Terrible kick. Cottrell cuts it off, and now the Blues can go on the counter. Maybe not. McKenna snaps on goal. Luck of the Irish. Oh, you love to see it. Lions get one back, and that hasn't been touched by anybody part of the Blues. Back to 11 points. You thought the Blues were about to counter, but Connor McKenna read it well, and he kicks the goal. Had a decision of so many clubs to go to. He decided to go to the Lions, and he could well be playing in a grand final this year if they get over the line tonight. Little basketball tap on, and then the snap on goal was just brilliant. The Devin Robinsons came off the ground at the moment. McInerney wins it down towards Neal. Pidnet plays for the free, didn't get it. Rayner broke through a couple, did well. Rayner gives it off to Neal. He feigned the give and then kicked it long towards Joe Danaher. Doesn't get the free kick though. Good mark for a Marchbank going back with the fly. Sends the ball out wide towards Doherty. Great strong hands. Takes the mark at half back. Joe Danaher just getting a little bit frustrated at the moment. Just needs to be careful. It's understandable in a big final. You want to make your moment, but a couple of free kicks haven't gone his way. He's getting a little bit frustrated. Long ball from Doherty here to Koning. Can't take the mark out. The back is Dunkley. Back on the ground finally to Coleman. Still going backwards here, the Lions. Coleman looking for the perfect option. Takes a little basketball bounce and then looks for a perfect kick. Finds Wilmot. He's having a good kicking game tonight, Coleman. So now Wilmot has an open forward line, but decides to go backwards. So I don't know about that option. And the kick, he's completely missed McKenna. He doesn't have any pressure on him, so he has some time. And this could work. Oh, it is an okay kick. It finds Wilmot, but I don't know. A little bit of shaky moments here for the Lions. Gets it out wide here to Zorko. He works it inside. Good kick, finds Dunkley, and he gives it back to his ex-captain in Zorko, who goes long to a 2-on-1 here for the Lions, and McInerney again dropped an absolute sitter. McGovern gets tackled well by McCarthy. McCluggage got a high one, should get the free kick, doesn't. Neal breaks past one, went to kick it, then Zorko got in his way. He gives it off to Lester, the defender. What a kick in from Ryan Lester! And the Lions back within 5 points. He's been a veteran of this side for so long. And Ryan Lester kicks a big goal in a big final. And they get around him all right. Doesn't kick many goals, Ryan Lester. And that's a pretty nice one to mark your first finals goal, I believe. Surely that's his first finals goal. Would have been there for the last 5 goals if it wasn't for the touch of Blake Acres. And they'd be level right now. But nonetheless, no, it wouldn't be level. It would be, it would be level. But great pressure there from the Lions, just to not give up on that play. McInerney should have taken that contested mark. Neal went for a kick, then almost got it smothered by Zorko, and then finally found a player with some space. And Leicester, great finish. So we're back in the middle. Pidnet and McInerney. Slaps it down there, McInerney towards Rayner. He breaks past one, just got a handball away. He's been a battering ram all night. Robertson handballs out wide, terrible handball. Hollands cuts it off. He gets it smothered. Chera got taken down by Rayner. Did well. He's lifted Rayner in the second term. McKenna running off the wing, gets it inside the forward 50. Hipwood did okay. Akers did well with the spoil away. Hollands just let it out of his grasp. He does well to get it back though. Low ball, great kick, finds Sard. So Adam Sard, halfback, has the footy. Just so under 4 minutes to go in this first half. Blues lead it by 5 points. So Sard goes long. Mackay couldn't gather it. Now Neal fighting hard. Great tackle there from Hewitt. So it looks like Tom DeConing's actually gone down the race at the moment with an injury. Don't know if he'll be back before halftime. That's big news if he's a talking point. Zorko has came back since that suspected groin injury. Winter down there, McInerney, Milne fighting hard. Dunkley just slaps it forward to space. Doherty gets a handball out to Walsh. Got dragged down by Rayner. Now Marchbank looking for a handball option. Just has to get it on the boot now. Sends it long towards the 2-on-2. Mackay got it slapped away from Andrews. Ricochets towards Walsh on the wing. Got the hands free somehow. Doherty to Hollands. Martin in the middle of the ground. One more handball and they're away, but it got smothered by McCarthy. He did want to tap it to himself. He has a bit of space here, McCarthy. Sends it long inside the forward 50 to leading Joe. The Lions are the hot ones now. And a chance here for Joe Danaher to get the Lions in front for the first time tonight. Great work from the Lions. One more handball from Martin and they were away. But McCarthy read it well, slapped it away from him, and the kick long was brilliant. For 59 minutes, the Blues have been in front in this game. Joe Danaher comes in, straight in front, 25 metres out. The Lions have the lead for the first time tonight. Joe Danaher kicks the goal. They lead by 1. He's got 2 now, Joe Danaher. And the Carlton fans who were screaming cheers in the first quarter are silent right now. Jack Martin just couldn't get that handball away. And it was a great read there from the Lions just to get that ball forward. The kick long from McCarthy was just brilliant. Wiedering just couldn't read it in time. Joe Danaher broke away. And he drilled the goal too. Cool and calmly. We're back in the middle again. McInerney wins it down towards Rayner. Slaps it a couple of times to himself like a basketballer. Oh, great hit. Neal got met hard. Now McCarthy did well. Sprung up well there, Neal. It was great to see. Zorko fighting hard. McCluggage almost dragged it in. McGovern nearly got it out of there. Blues fighting hardy with Chera. Good tackle there. Umpire calls for it with 2 minutes to go. Great first half of footy. Almost as good as last night. McInerney wins it down. Walsh just handballs it forward. Martin, little slap on, did well. Gets it to Akers. Wait, smother again there from the Lions. That was Coleman. McCluggage goes inside the forward 50. At the back is Charlie Cameron. He live a little highlight here. Breaks away from McGovern. Just got the ball away. He lost the ball though. And Blues great scrambling defence. Doherty over to Hewitt. He breaks away from one. Kicks it out wide. Lions do well there. Dunkley takes a good mark. Great chase down play there from McGovern. He saves the goal. Now Starskevich works it inside to Connor McKenna. Don't think he's had many multiple goal games in his career. He breaks on the right boot now. Connor McKenna blasts a big ball. Couldn't get there. Stays inbounds for the moment. And Boyd again. Great read. Slaps it through for a rush behind. McGovern was questioned for a long time of his career, but he's playing in a big final now and he's having his say. That was a great defensive play from him. So now Sard goes long towards the wing. Pack of players forms. Slapped away there Gardner did well on the line to get this one inside the forward 50. McGovern gives it off to Walsh, inside towards Chincotta, in fact. But McCarthy reads it well. Out towards McKenna. He's really lifted in this game. Connor McKenna goes long. At the back is Charlie! Charlie Cameron takes the mark. You can't keep him down for long. He's been down in this first half. But he takes a good mark now. So they're just letting him know, his teammates, that he may have under 30 seconds here. He has a little bit longer than that. Charlie Cameron around the body. He hit the belly of it. And he's missed. Big miss in a big final, Charlie Cameron. Only 3 points of the difference. He was too busy thinking about the time clock. He just had to go back and kick it. So McGovern now will have the kick in here for the Blues. They need to settle here, the Blues. They've let the Lions get right back into it and take the lead. It's going to be hard to stop this run. They're lucky halftime's coming soon. Gardner happy to take it out of bounds. So 17 seconds to go in this first half. Blues kicked the first 5 of it, and the Lions have kicked 6 of the last 7. Only the Cripps goal in this second quarter for the Blues. Lions lead by 3 currently. Pitternet wins it down, trying to grab it there. Walsh gets socketed it straight into the ricochet of Akers. Robertson goes in strong, couldn't bring it out though. McCarthy's done well. Off to McKenna. Little inside out, a job inside the forward 50. Maybe a late chance here for the Lions. McGovern. Great mark. We've heard of McGovern take some great marks in finals. McGovern takes a goal-saving one there. But at halftime, the Lions fight back hard, and they have a 3-point lead at halftime. Scores are 6-6-42 to the Blues. 6-3-39. I'll bring up the statistics and we'll go to halftime, guys. Alrighty guys, so at halftime we have leading disposal getter on the ground is Sam Walsh with a 19, Josh Dunkley with a 17 and Zorko with 16, Akers with 13, and then Nick Newman with the 12 round at the top 5. And then for the top goal scorers out there, we have Joe Danaher, only multiple goal scorers so far with the 2 goals. We have Connor McKenna with the 1, Oscar McInerney with the 1 as well for the Lions. And then for the Blues, all single goal kickers, top 3 are Harry Mackay, Jack Martin, and Sam Doherty. We'll be back in about 15-20 minutes, guys, with the second half. G'day guys and welcome back to the Bounty Riders YouTube channel. Today we are back with another trade, rumours and confirmed video. I'm repping the high vis right now because I'm on the Giants bandwagon. But we're here to talk more about the trades today. And we've got our co-host with me as always, my brother Jack. We've seen a couple more trades, but are you on the Giants bandwagon at the moment or are you bagging for Collingwood to win?
Oh no, we're on the non-Victorian bandwagon. We want a Brisbane GWS final.
That would be hilarious.
That's what we want.
That's what we want.
That's what the rest of Australia wants.
but I'm repping the Giants. I think they're hilarious. But their
Yeah,
marketing to this
Yeah.
this final series has been hilarious. And I'm with
Yeah.
Cooper Hamilton. I'm repping the high vis for you.
Yeah, we want him at any club.
We want him at
at my club.
Yeah. But today we're here to talk about trades, and Cooper's not going anywhere as far as we know. So we're going to start with the confirmed trades, and these are basically the ones that we know. Like, they've requested a trade as of now, and they're moving. They want to move club at the end of the year. So, of course, at the start of the week, we had Brendan Zirk-Thatcher come out and say that he wants to join Port Adelaide. We also had Jordan Sweet requesting a trade to Port Adelaide and Asava Radikalia. So all three of these have to be done. As a Port Adelaide fan, are you excited for these three signings coming hopefully coming at the end of the year?
Yeah, I think you're looking at least we have to get Jordan Sweet and probably Zirk-Thatcher. Chris Scott was on one of his broadcast TV shows start of the week, and he's said that he's going to play hardball with Port Adelaide over Asava. So that's going to be interesting. But
Well, Geelong are asking for a potentially first round pick. That is
he's
way
not
too
worth
high.
that. He's definitely not worth that.
But we'll move on and talk about, this hasn't been 100% confirmed, but let's call 99%. Brodie Grundy is requesting a trade to Sydney. I'm super excited about that, being a Swans fan. Well, a Swans fan as of...
New South Wales fan.
New South Wales fan, we'll call me for now. Anyway, looks like Dylan Stephens has requested a trade outside of Sydney, and at the moment North Melbourne are in front for that one. Tomlinson has actually been told that he will not be going at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And this is basically the last confirmed piece of information regarding trade is Ben Mackay. It's now between Essendon and Hawthorn. So Sydney have dropped out of the race for Ben Mackay. Thank God. And at the moment, Ben Mackay is basically a two-horse race between Essendon and Hawthorn. Alright, but now let's move to the rumours. And we move right back to the 13th of the 9th, which is basically last week when we last did the video. By the way, make sure to check that one out right there. In that card right there. I got it right this time. So, we start with Elijah Hollands, obviously the brother of Ollie Hollands, who's at Carlton. A lot of talk about maybe Elijah leaving at the end of the year as the new changes coming through with Dimmer Hardwick, and Carlton looking like a suitor for him. I think that'd be great for Carlton to bring in some more talent. Definitely got a set list, I think, for the next couple of years to really push towards the premiership at this stage, like the key bookends. So I think that just bringing in more talent's the one thing that Carlton need to do.
That's the way it will go, but I think he'll stay. I've got a feeling he might just stay. With the fact that Dimmer Hardwick's there, he might stay for another year and see how it goes.
Yeah, I think as well, he's been very injury prone since he's been at the Gold Coast. The year before, I know he did get some game time and played quite well, but then this year again, injuries and a little bit of form kept him out of the side. So we'll see how he goes. I actually think a little bit differently. I actually think he's a big chance of going to Carlton.
Yeah.
But because of his brother and the fact that they've got a lot of success, definitely brewing up there, down there. So that's my thoughts about that. Another one here is Buku Karmas. Hasn't really seen a lot of this guy in the AFL side, at least this year, because Rory Lobbs came into the team and has taken his role. How disappointed would you have to be locked away from out of the side because of him? But anyway, Collingwood and North Melbourne are interested in this guy, and he's been pretty good forward for the Bulldogs, and he thinks 40-odd goals this year in the VFL. I think he was behind Burgess, and I think he was third in the goal kicking for the VFL this year. So I don't know about Collingwood. I think he'd find it pretty difficult to get in there. He wants game time. I think you go to North Melbourne. If you want to fight for your spot at Collingwood and potentially win a premiership in the next couple of years, you go Collingwood 100%.
Yeah.
I think this one will definitely happen at the end of the year. I don't think he'll be at Whitten Oval at season's end.
He won't be at the Bulldogs.
Alright, so next up we've got Kyle Lohmann from the Brisbane Lions. There's a lot of talk about him potentially moving to the Bulldogs at season's end. If you guys don't know who Kyle Lohmann is, basically he's a utility forward, if you could say that. He got into the Brisbane team late in the year. I don't think he's featured in the first final, I believe. No, he didn't feature in the first final. But I think this is definitely a good idea, especially if they do lose someone like Buku Karma. So another one as well is James Jordan. He has actually informed Melbourne that he's actually going to be exploring his free agency options at the end of the year. We've got the Bulldogs as an option, also Sydney, the Bombers, and the Blues are actually, and also the Saints. I think this guy should be moving at season's end. I think it's going to be very hard to get into this Melbourne midfield at the end of the year. He's been in and out throughout this year. I think he's definitely a big midfielder in the making. I'd love if he comes to the Swans. I think Sydney need to build their midfield depth. Maybe the Bulldogs, I think, here could use him because they do need some extra midfielders, in my opinion. I think it's too much left on Bontempelli and Liberatore. But yeah, I think that any 5 of these teams would definitely benefit from this. Maybe not so much Carlton. I think Carlton would find it very difficult to get him into the midfield there. But I think any of the other 4, I think he's definitely worth it. Yeah. Another Melbourne midfielder as well is James Harms. This one's pretty interesting because it basically looks like he's been shut out of the Melbourne lineup, especially in the final series and later in the season. Been shut out. James Harms has been looked at by Richmond, Carlton, Essendon and Sydney. So it does look like that Carlton, Essendon and Sydney especially are looking to bulk up their midfield stock. A little bit surprising about that with Carlton, to be honest, but I guess that maybe Paddy Dow's leaving at season 10, which we'll talk about in a minute. But I think that Sydney and Essendon definitely need to build up their midfield stocks at this stage. I think that Essendon rely too much on Darcy Parish and Zach Merritt. Next one is a little bit interesting. Now, we obviously mentioned last week that Shane McAdam had requested a trade to Melbourne. And player that's been talked about, Harrison Petty, has actually been talked about as a potential part of the McAdam trade. So he would obviously go to Adelaide, Petty, and McAdam would go to Melbourne. I feel like Melbourne, that's the one thing they can't do is lose Harrison Petty. He was the one forward this year who actually looked capable until he got injured. Melbourne have to do everything they can to keep him because it doesn't look like Melbourne are linked to any forward this year anyway.
Yeah,
I don't know
they haven't
why.
really looked. Doesn't you normally hear something from now, especially after they've exited the finals. It's something. But
and the main reason that they missed the final, they didn't progress in finals because they didn't have a key forward to kick to. So they haven't been linked to any key forward. We've actually got a key forward we'll talk about next. But yeah, I think Melbourne will lock this one away pretty quickly and say we're not losing Harrison Petty. That's not going to be a part of the McAdam deal. So the key forward I was talking about is Mabior Chol. That was mentioned a couple of weeks ago that he could move. And 2 clubs in particular that are starting talks at least to bring Mabior Chol to the club is Adelaide and Brisbane. Don't understand why these 2 clubs, if any of them, are looking at Mabior Chol. I think that a team like Fremantle, a team like Melbourne, even Richmond could go back there. I don't think that'll happen. And I don't even think Port Adelaide, but maybe Port Adelaide, I guess. But I think there's teams that could definitely use a Mabior Chol type. But I don't think, and North Melbourne as well, I think would be definitely a good choice. But I don't think that Adelaide and Brisbane need them. I mean, Adelaide have got Fogarty, Thilthorpe, Riley O'Brien's still got a few more years in him, and Taylor Walker doesn't look like he's retiring at least for the next couple of years. And Brisbane have obviously got Danaher, they've got Hipwood. I don't think they could use really a Mabior Chol. Yeah, I think the Mabior Chol will be leaving at season's end. In the trade period. I just don't believe that the Crows and Brisbane are the right answer, especially for his career.
Like, if you want more game time, those are the 2 clubs you probably don't want to go to.
Yeah, unless you want to be sitting in the reserves for the rest of your career, really.
Yeah.
Well, at least until, if it's a Crows standard, then Taylor Walker retires. But the next one, I want to just give a brief mention, and I want to just say outright that I don't believe this will happen. But some talk was about Dion Prestia moving back to Queensland. And obviously with Dimmer Hardwick moving back, going up to the Gold Coast, that there could be a potential move of Dion Prestia going a fairy tale return back to the Gold Coast. I doubt this one very highly. Maybe there's a chance, but surely he can't go back to the Gold Coast Suns the way he shit on them.
Yeah.
Surely not the Gold Coast.
None of those players like Lynch, May, Prestia.
They left the club at its worst. Yeah. And look, I understand why they did. I mean, I probably would have left myself if I had the talent that these guys had. But you can't go back now because they look like they've got a light at the end of the tunnel. Oh, Damien Hardwick's back. We're going to go and play back with the Gold Coast Suns because they're going to be good. No, I think that would be shit, in my opinion. I think maybe we'll put it in the thumbnail for a bit of clickbait. What do you think?
Why not?
We'll put it in the thumbnail. Next one is Ivan Soldo. Now, he was linked to the GWS Giants last year. Didn't eventuate, probably to the best for the Giants. I mean, Kieran Briggs is one of the best ruckmen in the comp. There's been a little bit of interest from Port Adelaide. I don't know if you've heard about this at all.
No, actually, no.
Yeah, Port Adelaide have actually made a little bit of inquiries about Ivan Soldo. This should be quite interesting. We are going to talk a little bit about another ruckman in a minute who is at Port Adelaide who's potentially moving on. If Jordan Sweet requested a trade to Port Adelaide, this interest for Soldo came after the Sweet request. If I'm Jordan Sweet, I'd be feeling a little bit hard done by.
Yeah,
I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm sitting there as Jordan Sweet being told, oh yeah, you want to come to our club, we're going to give you the first rate, but that's only if Ivan Soldo doesn't come. I'd be feeling a bit shitty if I was him.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like Port know what their ruck stocks are going to be like for next year. I mean, they just delisted Brent Eagle as well. So now they've got Vizentini, Lysette, who's still on the list, Sam Hayes, who I think will be going, which we talked about last week. Sweet, who I think in the end of the day he'll get there. And then potentially Soldo as well. Yeah.
I feel like Soldo, the one thing about Ivan Soldo, he has shown he can play forward. If I'm Port, I think you just go with Jordan Sweet. He's going to be 25 next year, I believe. I think he's going to hit the peak of his career. I feel like Ivan Soldo, if he wants to leave to another club, we'll hope to him, but I feel like Port Adelaide should kind of steer clear of this and maybe let him go to another club.
But like, you just have to look at his Jordan Sweet's VFL season.
He would have been in probably most clubs he would have been in the main team of most clubs if it wasn't.
You just got to look at that, and I think you just got to think, well, he's shown the potential at VFL level. Bring him to the club, and he'll play pretty much most of the games in the AFL side next year for Port Adelaide. So,
all right. So the next one is Travis Boak. Now we talked about Travis Boak last week. The Port Adelaide were not going to sign him. There's been a couple of reports actually today that say that his exit meeting went quite well, and there is a chance that he will re-sign with Port Adelaide. But I actually heard this on the radio. This was on the way. This is while I was at work on the Triple M Rush Hour. Is the fact that there is some interest from Victorian clubs for Travis Boak if he does not re-sign with Port Adelaide. I'm unsure as to who would be the option. I saw someone in the comments say, "Why the hell would he go to Hawthorn?" Bro, I wasn't saying that he was going to go to Hawthorn. I was just saying that he could go to Hawthorn, and the Hawthorn could use him because he was an experienced player. And Hawthorn don't have that, but you know. A Travis Boak to Victoria, I think it could happen if he doesn't re-sign with Port Adelaide. My opinion is that if he doesn't re-sign with Port Adelaide, that he will retire. That's my opinion. What do you think? Do you think he re-sign with Port Adelaide?
The way that he was talking about it, it's very likely that Port Adelaide will give him one more year. I do have a bit of a soft spot for him. Like he was at Port Adelaide through the tough period. He could have went to the Geelong years ago, and he decided to stay. I think he's one player for Port Adelaide that deserves to go out on his own terms. But if he wants to retire, he can retire. But if he wants to go one more year, I think it's up to him.
I think what would have happened at this interview would have been, look, Trav, it's up to you. If you want to go another year, that's up to you. But there's no guarantee you're going to be in the 22.
Yeah.
So I think that's what may have happened. And I think, like you said, I think that Travis Boak probably has the right to decide if he wants to go on, and if Port Adelaide want to re-sign him, that's totally fine. But I feel like it's going to be very difficult for him at the end of to the start of next year. Next one is Tom Doedee. Now, for such a long time, he's been linked to the Brisbane Lions, and he's always wanted to stay at the Crows, but the deal that Adelaide are offering him, he hasn't liked. Sydney actually had a little bit of interest in him before he did his ACL. So basically, the club Brisbane were looking for the future here. Collingwood have actually came forward and have definitely started negotiations with Tom Doedee as well, and are looking to maybe prepare for life after Jeremy Howe, which is obviously a veteran defender for them. I think this actually be a good idea from Collingwood because, you know, the short term, Doedee won't be there, but Jeremy Howe should play on next year. And I don't know, maybe he would retire at the end of the year if the Collingwood were to win the premiership. But other than that, I think that Jeremy Howe will go next year. So I think that's actually a pretty decent idea for future plans for Collingwood to bring in Tom Doedee. I just still think that the Crows are going to get him here because I feel like at the end of the day, the Crows will fold, will give him a contract that's maybe not what he wants, but it will be close enough to where he can accept it. That's my thoughts. Yeah. I don't know if you think the same or differently.
I think it's about the same. Like, you've been hearing they want more defensive depth, so they left Warlace without a contract until they've said until the end of this trade period. If they can't get any more defensive depth, they're going to re-sign him. It just doesn't make any sense to why they would want to get rid of him. I think it's just up to Doedee. If he wants to stay, it's up to him. But if he wants to go, there's suitors for him. Another
one here, which we talked about a couple of weeks ago, was Matt Flynn. Was the number one GWS ruckman for like half the year, and probably since Shane Mumford retired and Braden Bruce got injured. But obviously Kieran Briggs came on this year and has taken that spot in leaps and strides. But now West Coast is showing interest in Matt Flynn. I think it's probably a good idea. Yeah. I think he deserves to be in a number one spot. I think he is good enough. I think that Kieran Briggs has definitely proven why he's in this top team. I think 100% he should be there. But I think West Coast, basically, if anyone's showing interest to go on the West Coast, just let him in. I don't even care if he's not even a good player. I mean, they let go of Petreski-Seaton, so I think that was a pretty good idea from West Coast. Yeah, I think the West Coast could use a Matt Flynn. I think that Bailey Williams, I don't think he's a number one ruckman. I think he's a forward ruck, in my opinion, who's the current West Coast number one ruck. So I think this would be a great idea for West Coast to pick this guy up.
He was in their best 22 for the Giants for start of this season, so he's good, capable ruckman in the AFL. So he wants game time. West Coast are going to give it to him. So
as long as he don't get injured.
Yeah.
something in the water up at the West Coast Eagles training facility. But anyway, next one is Paddy Dow and Zach Fisher. We'll start with Paddy Dow. It looks pretty certain now that St Kilda are going to secure Paddy Dow after the Carlton season ends. I'm assuming he'll make a decision. Let's be honest, I think he will leave.
He's always going to be in the side.
He's always going to be that 23, 26 role, really, in the emergency list. Unless a Carlton midfielder gets injured like we saw in the year with Chera and Cripps at times, and Walsh obviously right at the start. But yeah, I think Paddy Dow is pretty much gone, and St Kilda look like the leaders here. I think it's a good choice for St Kilda. I think they need to build their midfield depth. And the other one, obviously, is Zach Fisher. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago as well. He's going to get a big money offer from North Melbourne, it seems. We mentioned this last time. Yeah. This feels like a Jared Pollock 2.0. They're going to overpay this guy. He hasn't really shown a lot, like B-grade player at best at the moment. He's at his best at the moment.
He's got a good kick on him, but...
I mean, the one thing I don't think North Melbourne need are half-backs to wingman. I mean, that's the one North Melbourne spot I feel like they've got. I mean, they've got, Bailey Scott, Taron Thomas, Harry Sheasel, Luke McDonald, they've got a lot of those positions filled up, I feel like. But, I mean, I think Zach Fisher will add something to them, but I don't feel like they should be paying the absolute bank for him, in my opinion. But I feel like at season's end, Zach Fisher will be going to North Melbourne with the money offer that they're offering him. Another one here, we just got a couple more to go. This one is Scott Lysette. So, as I mentioned before, Port Adelaide ruck stocks, even though Bryn Teagle has been delisted, they've still got a pretty good ruck stock. Looks like that Scott Lysette has got some interest from Gardenia Park at Geelong, which doesn't surprise me. It looks like Geelong just want to add every single old player to their list. I just feel like Geelong have to stop doing this now. We've seen a couple of, they even signed Zach Tui again. And look, I think Zach Tui's a very good player, but I feel like now's the time that Geelong just have to cut a few of these older players. I mean, Isaac Smith probably went a year too long. I feel like he should have retired at the Premiership last year. Tom Hawkins hasn't got much time left. Dangerfield hasn't got much time left. They probably do need a ruckman. I feel like Geelong should be going. I don't know why Sean Darcy's just dropped off the face of the earth.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You heard, halfway during the season, Sean Darcy and just went away. It was well, that's the prime ruckman you want.
Yeah. So basically, we'd start with Brody Grundy, then it would be Sean Darcy. He's that second best ruckman, and then you've got. Alrighty, guys. So we're back for the second half. Both teams moving to positions. Carlton had a blitzing start. Brisbane caught back in the second quarter. Got themselves a lead. Big second half here. Winner of this, of course, goes to the big dance of the MCG next week. Nothing to lose out here. All to lose out here. Free kick's been ripped out here. We'll go to Brisbane. Cripps kicked it away. That should be 50. And Paddy Cripps gives away a 50-metre penalty. So McInerney gets the 50-metre penalty to start the second half. A chance here to get the Lions a 9-point lead. They didn't have a lead in this match until O'Danaher's goal late in the first half. McInerney straight in front, about 30 metres out. Drills the goal and the Lions get the perfect start. So Cripps gives away the 50-minute penalty. Hard to hear out there, but umpire says he should have heard it. So McInerney had a brilliant game so far. Kicks his second goal as well. Back in the ruck now. He wins the ruck, but Pidneck gathers it. Just got to kick away somehow. Walsh just parried it to his foot. He actually did brilliantly. And then Curnow taps it on towards Doherty and Motlop. Motlop gets tackled well by Wilmot. Dragged him to ground. And Wilmot somehow comes out of it with the footy. Kicks the ball towards the wing. Akers should get there first. The boundary line looms. Akers will get there first. Got a bad bounce though. Fletcher keeps him boundary side and drags him to ground. Should have been pinned. Play onto the call. Cherahamble's out wide. Fletcher fighting hard. Got a high hit there. The Brisbane player wasn't paid. Newman gets it on the boot, but it's all Brisbane. Coleman takes it. It took a long time to settle into this game, the Lions. But now, Carlton need to settle in this game or their finals hopes are done for. Coleman, low kick inside. Probably his worst kick of his career. Kicks it straight to Sam Walsh. Was a Brisbane fan as a kid, Sam Walsh. Playing against them now. Long ball. Charlie Curnow got pushed in that play. And the umpire gives him the free. Darcy Gardner gave away a pretty obvious push in the back. As soon as Curnow felt the contact, went down. Big push though from Gardner. And a chance here for Curnow to kick his second. He's been pretty quiet tonight. Only kicked the one goal. Hasn't kicked multiple goals in this final series either. Chance here to get the Blues a little bit of momentum going their way. Brisbane have kicked 7 of the last 8 goals. Curnow comes in. He's completely shanked it. It's out on the full. Won't even register a score. So the pressure mounts on the Blues. So Coleman will take the free kick in the back pocket. Decides to go long and high with that last kick being a pretty dismal one. Danaher fighting hard. McCluggage slaps it inside. And it's all the Lions. Bailey kicks it inside the forward 50 to a running Hipwood and Marchbank. Hipwood gets there first. Tries to shake off Marchbank. Ambles over the top to Cameron. He's got Hollins. He shakes him. Charlie Cameron. He won't be kept down for long. He drills the goal. Lions go out by 15. They're going to be hard to beat now, the Lions. Charlie Cameron in on the show. And Country Road plays around the Gabba. Bit of John Denver. And I think that's the Brisbane fans' new favourite song. Great tap in there from McCluggage. Just read that his teammates are on the outside. Just had to get it to him. And then Bailey's kick wasn't the best, but it gave Hipwood on his goal side. Great little handball over the top. And Cameron was very good here. He was very composed. He could have blazed away and quickly kicked it. But he saw Hollins. He took the time to get past him. And the Brisbane Lions have a big lead now. Neil from the stoppage kicks it inside the forward 50. Hipwood in front. The Lions are starting to run away with it now. 8 of the last 9 goals. A chance here for Hipwood to get his second. He did start all this in the first turn when the Lions got blitzed early. He was the one who got them on the scoreboard. And a chance here for Hipwood to kick his second. It's been really whoever's dominating in the midfield have been the dominant team. Brisbane did not show up in the first term. They've shown up in the second and the third. Hipwood a chance here to drive a dagger in the Blues' hearts. Absolutely shanked it. Lucky to score a behind. So McGovern will take the kick in here for the Blues. He's had a massive game, Mitch McGovern. Sends a long ball towards the wing, out of side. Cripps does well in front, takes a good mark. He wants to go to the backside of Cherry, had to take a step back, gives it off to Newman. The kick is terrible from Nick Newman. Cut off by Coleman. So Coleman goes out wide on the other wing, or half back line to Archie, and he goes towards the wing now to Lockie Neal. He's been a little bit let go of his leash in this second and third term. In short. And he finds Charlie Cameron, who gets a big roar from the fans. So now Cameron goes long and high again. There's a lot of Brisbane numbers around this. 1-2. Rayner doesn't claim it though. Did well to give off the handball. McCluggage couldn't gather it. Rayner breaks out of 3 tackles. Snaps on goal. Will it get there? It fades late. That would have been a prelim final special. Just couldn't get it to... Just got it to bend too much though. He's been a battering ram all night. He's going to be bruised and battered after this game, Cam Rayner. But if they come away with the win, he won't care. The Blues currently a breaking strain right now. Huge Lions chant going around the Gabba at the moment. McGovern has the kick in. Goes wide towards the wing. Mackay's the option. Got his hands up. Good clunk. Taking a couple of good marks tonight, Mackay. He's been pretty quiet since the first quarter, though. So now Mackay looking for an option. Again, goes long and high. Curnow gets in front. Couldn't gather it, but Akers on the ground. Just overran it a little. Coleman steals it. And now he goes low and short towards the wing. Great work there from Nick Newman to get across. Balls it out of bounds. So we're back on the wing as we've been most of the night on this outer wing. McInerney slaps it forward a good 20 metres. He's done well with the ruck tonight, and it runs out of bounds again. So back in the ruck, Pidnet takes it out of there, then dropped it. He's fighting hard for it. Just socketed it to himself almost. Chair out the back to Akers, just jams it on the boot. Motlop sits under it. Got met hard there by Coleman. Cripps, let it go. And then Coleman shakes him. He's had a brilliant game, Kitty Coleman. The kick inside was even better. He finds Hipwood on the lead. Hipwood wants to go. He goes into the forward pocket. All on his own. It's Charlie Cameron. Just starting to lift in this third term, Charlie. Been out of it in the first half. Carlton kept him well held. But a chance here. Get the Lions out by 23 points. So Charlie Cameron. On his left boot. Snaps on. Oh, he got a terrible connection on that. Didn't even make the distance from 25 out. And the Blues get a mark inside the defensive goal square courtesy of Adam Sard. So Carlton are still in this game. They shouldn't think they're out of it because they're only just under 3 goals behind. But right now the Lions are playing like winners. Gardner from the spoil. Motlop read it well. Gets the 1-2 from Doherty. Motlop going for a bit of a run. Kicks it out wide. It's a dangerous kick to Akers. Berry read it like a book. Slaps it to the ground. He tries to shake off Akers. Just got a handball away. Akers fighting hard into the defensive 50. Robinson meets him hard. Now McGovern out to Marchbank. He kicks the ball out wide. There's a 2-on-2 here. In front there was Martin. Got slapped away from McKenna. McGovern trying to back out of it. Just got a kick away. Did well there, Starskovich. Found a little bit of space. Now kicks it long inside the forward 50. In front is Joe. In fact, it was Marchbank. Kept it in bounds for the moment. Sard. And then happy to take it out of bounds. And then a little bit of a scrap between Sard and Cameron. McGovern gets involved. Cameron gets dragged to the ground. Could have been a hold. Wasn't paid. Sard's kept him well held for the first half. But Cameron's starting to work into this one. Pidnet slaps it down. Cameron running through like a steam train. Gives it off to McCluggage. This would hurt the Blues. Just couldn't snap it home. And keeps the Blues involved. So now Wiedering. He takes the kick in this time. Again, they go to this outer side. He goes long and high again. Got pushed under that one a little bit, Wilmot. And Lester cuts it off. So now he pumps it back inside the forward 50 for the Lions. In front is Rayner. Gets out the back of them. Rayner keeps his feet though. Did well there, McGovern, to knock him over. And he gets out of bounds forward pocket. Umpire throws it in another low-scoring final, but it's been a top-shelf game. McInerney slaps it down, but Hollins gathers it well. Kicks the ball towards the wing. Mackay is there, takes a good mark. So Mackay at half-back. He's done well in between the wings so far. Kicks the ball long again towards Curnow. Did well to get up, and he springs up quickly. Goes long inside the forward 50. Cottrell at the back. He's fighting hard. Archie goes to the ground. Cottrell keeps his feet. He has some time. Spins on goal. High ball. Will it get there? Doesn't even make the distance. Then Hipwood slaps it through from behind. Cottrell wastes a big chance there for the Blues. Just wasn't composed over it. It's only 17 points, but the Blues are playing like they're 6 goals down. How you doing, me? Long ball towards the wing. Got up and then couldn't bring it down there. McCluggage, and he gets thumped out of bounds. No, it was a smother. What do you mean there was a free kick in that? He went to smother the football. Oh my god. What do you mean that's a free kick? You can't play a free kick for a smother. You can't play below the knees because you had the football. Oh, whatever. Anyway, DeConing from the ruck couldn't get it out of there. McCluggage met hard there by Newman. Fighting hard for the Blues at the moment. So is Berry. Under a pack of players and dragged down. Still 12 minutes to go in this third term. Gardner getting a rub down from the Medicos. He'll need to get out there. Very important to this match. DeConing slaps it down towards Chera. Coleman having to slap it the other way on the bounce. Coming through there hard was McCarthy. Had a good second turn, McCarthy. Handballs to space trying to run onto it. He couldn't. Cameron overran it a little and now Hewitt gives it off to McGovern. Now Chincotta just gets booted the ball towards the wing. Coleman should get there first. Runs towards the boundary line. Umpire pays not deliberate. That has been paid all night. Not there. McCarthy limps away from that play that he previously was in. Seems okay. Seems to shake it off. Needs to shake it off a little. So DeConing takes it out of the ruck. Almost threw that away. Doherty fighting hard. McCluggage can't get it out of the grasp of Cripps. So DeConing slaps it down towards Cripps. He couldn't grab it cleanly, but he slapped it over to Doherty. He gets met hard by Zorko. Just got the boot to ball. Berry ran straight into Cripps. Threw it away. Should be pinned. Not paid. McKenna dribbles it along the ground. Zorko did well. Gives it out wide to Coleman. He's been brilliant all night. Kitty Coleman. Sends the ball inside the forward 50. Rayner going back with the flight. Got to slap that out of his hands by Hipwood. Newman gives it off to McGovern. Walsh fighting hard. Couldn't grab it. Bailey did well. McCarthy did brilliantly. Out to Bailey. He runs back against the grain. Gives it out towards McCarthy. Great smother from Hollands. It gets out towards Cripps. He overran it a little. McKenna got met hard. Then he runs a little space. Handballs out wide to himself. Got held. There should be a free kick Lions way. Great work from Connor McKenna. How you doing, Mama's little blog? Lions doing well. So McKenna now. Had a brilliant second term. Goes with the low ball inside the forward 50. Not the best kick. Akers overran it though. Blues under pressure. McGovern just slams it back from once it came. But it's all Lions. Gardner takes it. So Gardner back to Andrews. Andrews goes back to Leicester. And now the Lions can go on the outer side. Try and find a different avenue to goal. Wilmot out to Archie. Been a bit quiet tonight. And he goes back to Wilmot. They're just edging forward here, the Lions. About 55-60 out as Wilmot kicks. Don't know if he's asking to go for a goal. No, he's not. He gets a little bit of an arc and goes long. Hooks it towards the top of the goal square. It gets farther than that. And Marchbank thumps it out of bounds. Probably wasn't the best option. Tried to get it through for a point. Just misdirected it. And it's gone for a stoppage for the Lions, which they'll love. They've dominated this third term, the Lions. They've had 12 inside 50s to 3. The Lions have looked to try and get the killer blow. They just can't lay it at the moment. The Blues still in this one. Danaher tries to take it out of the ruck, then try to tap it to himself. McCarthy ricocheted off his toes. Walsh let it go. Cameron dragged down from Cripps. Stoppage called. Player went down there for the Blues. Michael Voss knows this game is slipping away. They need to change something now. Both ruckmen miss it to Koning. Let it go for a moment. Danaher jams it on the boot, dribbling towards the goal square. Rayner got met hard immediately by the Blues. Walsh off to Akers. Try to find some space. He's still in the pocket. He just got booted to ball. Outside the defensive 50. Kerner got a bad bounce. Fogarty tapped it towards some space. Sarskovic got met hard. Did well to break off the tackle. Now McKenna fighting hard. Cripps did well to tap it forward. Motlop has some space here, but he's get met immediately by pressure from the Lions. McKenna just got booted to ball. There's still time if the Lions. Andrews handball missed his teammate. And now Walsh gets it inside the forward 50. Great read from Gardner. He's been good tonight. Hands it out wide to Robertson, who gets a great mark. He had to take it. Robertson was getting immediately met by pressure, and he took it well. He goes out wide to Leicester. Leicester back to Sarskovic. Down to Gardner. It's going to be hard to take him out of this team if Payne is ready for the grand final if they make it there. He's had a good night, Darcy Gardner. Archie out wide. Finds Wilmot. Newman's coming off the ground at the moment with an eye injury. Got a poke in the eye. Should be okay. Probably just needs a little bit of time to get some sight into it to be fine. So now to the wing, they find McCluggage. He goes inside. They didn't have these kicks in the first quarter. The Blues have dropped right off. Bailey sends it inside the forward 50. Long ball. De Koning is there. Great mark from Tom De Koning. Had to get back for his team. The kick wasn't the best. Just took it Wiedering under all sorts of pressure. So Wiedering goes in short. It's okay. Finds Marchbank. So Harry Mackay just came from the room. Seems all good. He'll be back on the ground for the Blues. Marchbank sends a long ball towards the wing. Martin tries to get in front. Couldn't bring it down. Curnow got his hands free. Did well to get the handball away to Walsh. Now Doherty slams the ball back inside the forward 50. It's all space. Lions player will get there first. And Connor McKenna's had a brilliant night. Goes in short to Wilmot. Wilmot wants to go. The Lions just want to land that killer blow. Oh, McCluggage played on. Just got the kick away to Danaher in the middle. Great little handball, but then, actually, no, it wasn't so good. Missed Rayner. And then Chincotta missed his teammate. Rayner fighting hard. He can just somehow gets the footy, then dragged it in. Went to drag it in again. Just gets out to Koning. Cripps. Tackled by Dunkley. Got off the handball somehow to Hewitt. Now Chincotta kicks it towards the forward 50. Curnow in front. Just out of range here. He decides to wheel and go to a free open goal square. And he hooked it. Charlie Curnow's missed his last 2 shots on goal. If they were goals right now, the Blues would be right back in it. So now Berry in the back pocket. Goes long to the wing. De Koning got over the top of him and McGovern takes it. Had a brilliant night, Mitch McGovern. Sends the ball long inside the forward 50. Fighting hard was Akers. Gets out the back. Curnow tries to break the tackle of Fletcher. Great tackle here. Somehow gets the handball towards Akers just out of his grasp. Starskovich. Handball towards Wilmot. Little slap towards McInerney. And then Berry. Did well, Akers. Fighting hard all game at Blake Akers. And the Brisbane Lions take it out of bounds. But forward stoppage here for the Blues. They can get one here, the Blues. They're right back in it. They'll be within 10 points. Blues fans starting to sense their Blues are fighting back in this one. McInerney and De Koning tussle up. De Koning wins it down to Cripps. Out to Walsh. He wheels and goes long towards the top of the goal square. Mackay went up, couldn't bring it down. McKenna just slams it back outside the defensive 50 for the moment. Great mark. Coming through the young man, Boyd. He's saying he wants to go for goal, the young kid. Love a bit of confidence. He knows his team needs a goal. Just giving his team a deep breath. He's actually got Hewitt in short. He decides that he's just going to go for goal here, Boyd. I'm unsure if he's got the distance. But the young kid takes the pressure on his shoulders. He drives a long ball. Boyd! Oh, I just missed. Great work from Andrews on the line to thump it through. He got a good kick on that there, Boyd. Just couldn't get that final metre. 15 points. Starskovich has the footy in the defensive 50. Works it out wide to Leicester. Still 5.5 minutes to go on this third term. Short to Fletcher. The Lions know that they're getting a lot of pressure met by the Blues at the moment. Umpire calls to play on. Fletcher goes long and high. Lions got the numbers. Hipwood did okay to knock at the ground. Marchbank happy to see it out of bounds. McInerney wins it down, just out of the grasp of Rayner. Hewitt tried to get it away. McInerney just kicks it out towards the wing. It's actually a really good kick if he can stay in bounds. It doesn't. And it'll be another stoppage. It was a really good effort there for McInerney to get it out wide. He just put a little bit too much on it. It just trickled out of bounds. Newman trying to shake off that eye injury. Throws it in once again, the umpire. De Koning slaps it down towards Rayner and Cripps. Cripps fighting hard, just got the ball out. Neil trying to get the ball out of there for the Lions. De Koning drags him to ground. McInerney just slaps it forward, trying to break this play. Walsh slaps it the other way. Now Bailey shakes off the deconing tackle. Gets the ball inside the forward 50. High ball. It gets out of the grasp of McCarthy. Great work from Wiedering. All the players just overran it. And then Wiedering just goes back with the flight. Takes a good mark. Out wide to Cripps. The Blues know they do need one here. Gets a bit of boo from the crowd. Cripps goes long. It's actually a really good kick. Martin should have gone up for it though. Andrews got it to ground and then Neil gets dragged down by Martin. So McInerney, little tap down. Doherty got met hard there by Bailey. Walsh fighting hard. Wilmot went in lower. Now McKenna. Little short kick over the top was brilliant. He finds McCarthy. McCarthy wants to go. Low ball inside the forward 50. They're all at the back here. Archie takes some space. Callum Archie. A chance to send a dagger. That one hurts. Callum Archie sends it to the crowd. And the Lions out by 21. Cal Archie was at the Gold Coast Suns. Couldn't get a game. He went to the Lions, the crosstown rivals, and suddenly kicks a big goal in a prelim. It was a big goal, whoever got that one. Carlton had the momentum for the past few minutes, but they couldn't take a chance, and the Lions went long. Archie dropped the mark, but the bounce of the play, he read it well, he kicked the goal, and he'd be loving footy at the moment. In career best form, Cal Archie drills a big time one there. Back in the middle, both ruckmen tussle up. No, you got to call that back, umpire! Oh, fuck me. You can't bounce it like shit and then get angry at McInerney. Oh, whatever. Sends the ball long here, Carlton, but it's all Brisbane. Coleman cuts it off. Kicks it out wide to Robertson. So Robertson at half back. Has Fletcher a little bit wider, which he goes to now. So he goes along with the kick here, Fletcher. High ball towards McInerney. Fights hard, but Pinnet claims the mark for a moment. Then had to give over the handball. Newman. Out to Walsh. He gets dragged down. Marchbank has a little bit of time. Holding the ball. Free kick will go the Lions' way. So if Zorko gets the free kick, umpire missed him with the throw. I think the Brisbane crowd are calling for 50 against the umpire. Won't happen. Zorko low into the pocket. Cameron, great sport from Sard. Slaps it away out of bounds. It's not out of reach for the Blues, but they've got so much to play for. And they're playing like they know they're going to lose this match. Michael Voss against the former side. Formerly coached this team. Formerly won 3 premierships with them as a player. Now he's trying to fight to kill their finals hopes. McInerney out of the ruck. Inside out a job goes towards the other pocket. Stays in bounds for the moment, but runs out in the end. McInerney had a massive game so far. Limping a little here. But he really changed this game around in the middle of the ground when they needed to in that second term. Umpire throws it in again. McInerney slaps it to the front. Bailey gets a high one. What? You have to pay that! Lions are fiery at the moment. Neil gets out the handball. Danaher tries to swing his boot at it, couldn't. Wiedering gets the kick away towards the wing, but it'll be coming towards the half back line, but it'll be coming back. So Wilmot now looking for an option. All on his own, Lockie Neal. Cripps just got a punch away. In fact, it was Dunkley. He slaps it forward instead. Bouncing ball, Chera. Just grabbed it out of the grasp. Good smother coming through there from Zorko. McCarthy tackled well by Chincotta. So umpire ready to throw it up again. Still inside the Lions forward 50. McInerney slaps it down towards McCarthy. Chincotta kicks it away towards the wing. It's all Lions again. Gardner handles right back to the final player on this ground, which is McKenna. Little short kick inside was brilliant. Just kicked it off the line a little bit. All the Blues players were expecting it to go one way. It goes the other. Fletcher inside the forward 50. Not the best kick. Newman gives it off the Cripps. Now Walsh has some time. Drills it down the middle of the ground. Great kick in the end of DeConing. Doesn't have many options. So he just has to go long and high. Goes for the goal square. Not a very good kick. And it will run towards the boundary line. It'll be a stoppage. So forward stoppage here for the Blues. They need the next goal. McInerney wins it down. Fletcher tackled by Fogarty. Good tackle. McInerney wins it down. Pidnett fighting hard. Just got a handball away. Neal dragged down by Cherritt. Just got a handball away. Walsh just handballs it to no one really. Fogarty met it though. Coleman fumbled. Cottrell kicks it high. That was touched. Mackay fighting hard. Couldn't bring it down. Chera looking for the high one. Didn't get it. Oh, they paid that one! Can you believe it? He contributed to that one just as much as Zach Bailey did. Unbelievable. So Adam Chera gets the free kick. He comes in now. Big time miss. Maybe the footy gods are talking. Big chance there for Adam Cherry. Wastes it. Big time moment there for a big recruit and he's missed it. 20 points the difference. There's only 13 seconds now. If the Lions get outside the defensive 50, they should be safe for the quarter. Long ball. Rayner gets it out the back. Pidnett just missed the bounce. They're out the back here, the Lions, so they have time. McCarthy doesn't have anyone to go to. He just kicks it inside the forward 50. Cameron's out the back. The siren's going to go. Blues get a little bit lucky with the siren, but it's the Lions with all the momentum going in at three-quarter time. The Lions lead by 20 points. 9-9-63 to the Blues. 6-7-43. Oh, fucking idiot. I grabbed two of the same picture. Right, guys, so three-quarter time, we have Sam Walsh leading all comers with 28 disposals. He's been Carlton's best by far, and arguably winning the, I think he's winning the Gary Ayres medal as the best finals player so far. We have Dane Zorko with 18, along with Nick Newman, Connor McKenna, and Mitch McGovern, which are the top 5 disposal getters. And then for the top goal scorers out there, we have McInerney and Danaher both with the 2 goals. Only multiple goal kickers of the match, and Connor McKenna has 1 as well. And then for the Blues, it's still the single goal kickers all round. Harry Mackay, Jack Martin, and Sam Doherty all with the 1. Just going to quickly get a drink, guys. I'm back in a sec. That was very fucking feminine of me, that noise. So here we go, guys. The final quarter for one of these clubs. The Blues down by 20 points. They had a massive start to this one. They've only kicked 1 goal since the first quarter. All to play for right now, Carlton and the Lions. Who will become victorious and go to the big dance against Collingwood? Here we go. Umpire bounces it down. Terrible bounce from the umpire. You won't be playing next week. You loser. I'm sorry. Fucking hell, bro. Matthew Kennedy has actually been subbed into the game at 3/4 time. And Lockie Fogarty's been subbed out. Lockie nil. Shoulder looks fine to me. Gave off the handball towards Dunkley. Inside the forward 50. Both players at the back tussle up with Danaher and Wiedering. Now McCarthy goes in hard and low. Couldn't get it out of there. Cameron met hard. We're in the 4X gold undies there. Not too bad there, Charlie Cameron. Umpire throws it up inside the Lions forward 50. Dunkley try to get it out of there. McCarthy fighting hard. Newman. Good tackle there from McCarthy. Happy to wrap him up. And as it's been since basically the second quarter, the Lions have it locked inside their forward 50. McInerney wins it down. Sard gets it on the boot quickly. High towards half back. Fighting hard. Sarskis couldn't bring it down. Jack Martin did brilliantly. Handballs inside to Doherty. He wants to go out wide. Dangerous kick, though. Great mark from McGovern. He wants to go. They know they have to go now, the Blues. Hewitt out to Doherty. Again, they're stalled, though. Great smother there from the Hipwood. Their pressure in this game since the first quarter has been brilliant, the Lions. Good mark, though, there from Marchbank. Marchbank into the middle of the ground. Just took that one low there, Boyd. Boyd inside to Kennedy. Had a good game last week. Dropped down to the sub tonight. Ball out wide towards Hollins. Good hands from the young kid. He goes inside. Great smother from Lockie Neal. Doing the defensive stuff as well. Handballs over the top to Berry. He has some space and time. Had a handball option in McCluggage, and maybe he should have gone there instead. Wiedering takes the intercept mark. Inside to Hollins. He wants to go. McGovern about to get shut down. Just got a kick away. Starsky just tried to smother that ball on the ground, but Neal reads it well in short. The Lions just seem to have all the answers at the moment. They're now at half forward. McCluggage. It's all one-on-one at the moment. Working back hard there was Marchbank, but a great kick, though. Off the line, he finds Charlie Cameron. This would almost seal it. So Charlie Cameron, tough angle, hooks it too much. It's through for a behind. First score of the final quarter, only a minor for the Lions. Goes in short to McGovern, from McGovern to Wiedering. Wiedering kicks a little bit inboard here with the kick. Good intercept mark there from Harris Andrews. Had a good game. Wheels inside. Good kick to Hipwood. Hipwood doesn't have many options to go to, so he just goes long and high again. McCarthy at the back! Good mark from McCarthy. He's had a good match. Hasn't hit the scoreboard yet. But this to make it very difficult for the Blues. Great kick from Hipwood. Had all the pressure around him there, McCarthy. Took a good mark. So McCarthy now to almost get the Lions to a grand final. Hasn't kicked one yet. Comes in now, McCarthy. Comes off the side of the boot. He's just got it there. He's only just got it there, Lincoln McCarthy. Doesn't celebrate too much. He knows there's a lot more in this game to go. But he just sneaks it in. I think he knew that he nearly missed that, Lincoln McCarthy, but it just went through. That's all that matters. Back in the middle, McCarthy wins it down. Dunkley, little tap back to Neal. The party trick's coming out for the Lions. Kicks it towards the forward 50. McGovern dragged down by McCarthy. Just got a handball away. Hewitt did okay. Robertson, little party trick to himself. Couldn't bring it with him. Great tackle, though. And half forward now, the Lions. McInerney couldn't bring it with him. Walsh out that back towards Hewitt. Handballed underground. Gets dragged down there. I think it's Chera. And then Neal fighting hard for the footy. Kennedy gets pinholed in the ball. Tough decision. So Neil gets the free kick on the wing. So Lockie Neal now. Low inside the forward 50. In front is Joe! Held should have got the free kick play on. McCarthy sends it ball towards the forward 50. Inside the forward 50. Not a very good kick though. And Hollands takes a good mark. Should have been a free kick to Joe Dana. He got held without the footy. Hollands goes short and wide to Newman. Still inside the defensive 50 of the Blues. They just have to go now. They might as well lose this game by 10 goals instead of playing this way. Boyd, low ball inside. Okay kick. Walsh couldn't gather it. It's a great play there from Hipwood. Bailey backs out into trouble. Doherty dragged it back under him. So now McInerney slaps it towards Berry. Berry got met high there, wasn't paid. Now Doherty kicks the ball into the middle of the ground. It's a dangerous kick. Motlop tried to claim it, almost did in the end. And now the Blues have a chance. Martin Hare was over the top towards Motlop. Great work from Leicester, but he just couldn't grab it. Now Hewitt inside the forward 50. Mackay got met by Harris Andrews, and he takes a great mark. He's almost there tonight. He was one of their best in the first quarter when they needed him most. And he could almost be the captain in the grand final. They're almost there, the Lions. So now Zorko. Short to Berry. In short to Leicester. So now McKenna had a massive game tonight. Long ball towards Joe Danaher. Couldn't bring it down. Got a high hit. Should get the free kick, and he does. So Danaher on the wing right now. Goes to the long ball again, high towards the forward 50. McInerney had almost had everything held, couldn't bring it down with him. Robertson couldn't get it away. McInerney somehow gets it out the back of his legs. Hipwood did okay. Walsh got met hard by Robertson. Bailey sockers it to himself. Bailey out of the air, couldn't get it away. Cameron sockered it to himself. Fighting hard is Motlop. Dragged down on the line. Just gets it over. Behind there for the Lions. They're almost there, the Lions. They know one more goal would get them there. So Assad goes long, Pidnet's the option, so is Curnow. Slapped out of their grasp and out of bounds in front of the Carlton interchange gate. Michael Voss knows this game is slipping away by the moment. There's not much he can do now. Koning slaps it down. Robertson gets it, just got his hands free and then just handballs a good 20 metres to space. But with some meterage, Boyd, he's had a good match. Back to McGovern. Over the top towards Boyd again on the run. Got met hard. Contributed to the high, but he somehow gets the free kick, I guess. Goes inside, good kick. He finds Chera. Inside the forward 50. Mackay held, he gets the free kick. Harris Andrews did give a hold on Mackay. And this simply just has to go through here for Carlton's chances. So Harry Mackay. A lot has been talked about him this week. Should he even be back in this side? He was given the chance by his coach. A chance here to keep the Blues in it. Drills it into the post. $27 points. Coleman has the footy in the back pocket. Goes long and wide towards Berry. Good kick. So Berry at halfback. Probably could have gotten 50. Probably wasn't there though. High and long towards half forward here. Up went Hipwood, almost dragged it down. Probably got a high one, wasn't paid. Chincotta looking for the boundary line, he gets it there. Throws it in here now. McInerney wins it down. Kennedy fighting hard there with McCluggage. McCluggage just slaps at the space. Rayner got met hard there with Hollands. Now out the front here towards Robertson. He just slaps it forward for McCluggage. He just couldn't grab it now, McGovern. Handballs to Doherty. And they go now through hands here, the Blues. Hollands just handballed it to really no one in particular. Cherry has to fight back to get back on it. Handball over the top to Cripps. He's going to get met hard. Then he got met hard by Robertson. Here comes Berry. A chance to send a dagger into the Blues, and Cameron gets the free kick. Well, Charlie Cameron, he's been in a couple of prelims. His heart's broken. Had a heart broken in 2017 with the Crows. This to get back on the biggest stage. Cripps just fumbled at the crucial stage there. Robertson met him hard. And Charlie Cameron, a chance here to send Brisbane into the big dance. It comes in. Oh, he's at the post. Oh, he's missed a couple of chances tonight, Charlie Cameron. He's kicked 1 goal, 3 tonight. Blues still in with a slight chance. Boyd, wide to Akers. Akers gives it back to Boyd and he just breaks a line, does well. Kicks the ball long and towards half forward. Martin fights hard. Andrews couldn't bring it down. Blues have the numbers. Coleman fumbles. Now Martin handballs towards Hewitt. He's got some time and space. Kicks it inboard towards Cripps. That's a good kick from Hewitt. And Mackay missed his chance a few moments ago. A chance here for the captain to stand up and give their team still a chance. A glimmer of hope. So Paddy Cripps, he knows he has to kick this goal to keep the Blues alive. Not much angle, not much distance, not much problems. Kicks the goal, Paddy Cripps, Blues still alive. Blues still with a glimmer of hope. That's their second goal since the first quarter of this game. But they're still in it. 22 points for the difference. He's kicked the only 2 goals for the Blues since the first quarter, Paddy Cripps. They have to start winning it from the source, right in the middle of the ground. They haven't been able to do it since the first quarter, the Blues. They have to do it now. Pidnet wins it down. McCluggage falls over. Walsh got met hard by Fletcher, then left the ball behind. Good tackle from Walsh on Bailey. Wins it down there. Dragged down was Dunkley. Still on the bench at the moment is the sub for the Lions in Jared Lyons. A little bit surprising. They may wait a little bit longer and then maybe take off a key play if they've won it. If not, maybe he'll sit on the bench for a bit longer. Newman breaks away. Campbell's a long ball inside the middle of the ground. Cripps, great play. Tapped it towards Walsh. He sends it inside the forward 50. Mackay gets some space! Blues aren't done yet! And Harry Mackay missed his chance about 5 minutes ago. He simply has to take this one. Carlton fans, hold their breath. Mackay comes in. Kicks towards goal. Oh, never in doubt! Mackay kicks the goal. Blues are right in this one. Heaps of time left. It's only 16 points. And now the Lions get nervous. Kicks his second arrow, Mackay. So we're back in the middle. Pidnet slaps it down towards Walsh and Bailey. Bailey read it well. Did well with that one there, Bailey. Sends the ball towards half forward. Cottrell sits under it, takes a good mark. So now the Blues can go. Kick towards the wing. Motlop takes a good mark as well. They have another chance here, the Blues. This has to be a good entry. Kicking towards the pocket, Mackay. All went down. Gardner did okay to slap it away. And a free kick will go to the Lions. Mackay dragged down Aris Andrews. Free kick goes to him. Oh no, it was not a free kick to the Lions or the Blues. It's actually a throw-in. So back in the ruck here, forward stoppage of the Blues. Pidnet slaps it down. Hewitt couldn't grab it. Berry gets the ball towards the wing. Wiedering takes the mark. The Blues suddenly have momentum. They haven't had this since the first quarter. It kicks it into the pocket to Koning! 1-2! Couldn't bring it down though. Berry got the ball smothered from Chera. Did well. It trickles outside the defensive 50 and out of bounds. This game's just suddenly lit up again. The Lions know they're not home just yet. Charlie Cameron had a chance to win it. He missed a really he missed a terrible shot on goal. He should have kicked it. The Blues have kicked the last two since. Pidnet kicked it out of the ruck towards the boundary line. Doesn't go out of bounds on the full. Hewitt sees it out. Umpire throws it in again. McInerney wins it down. Rayner can't grab it. Chera fighting hard. Kennedy got off his knee. Only far as Neal. Now Bailey kicks it across his body towards the wing. Gets out the back of Wiedering. Marchbank there first. Tumbling ball towards the middle of the ground. It's dangerous. Coleman fighting really hard against three Blues. Now McCarthy handles that wide to Bailey. Has some time and space. Long ball towards the forward 50. Hipwood got his hands up. It's inbounds for the moment. Just gets out of bounds. But a stoppage at 50 here. So at 50 right now. Umpire throws it in. Pidnet slapped down. Just out of the grasp of Newman. Did well to get back onto it. Pidnet kicks it. Now Kennedy spoiled away there from Walsh. Out of bounds. Tense moments in this one. Both teams know this game isn't done. Umpire throws it in again. Pidnet slaps it down towards Kennedy. He did well. He's done okay there. A couple of dance steps. And he kicks it in the middle of the ground. Absolute mongrel. But it may work. Curnow spins out of trouble. Kicks it inside the forward 50. Andrews in front. Did well to spoil it away from Mackay. De Koning fighting hard. Held. Leicester should get a free kick. And it will be. So Leicester gets the free kick, 100% there. De Koning just didn't need to do it. Leicester was never going to grab that ball. So Leicester takes his time and goes long towards the outer wing. In fact, it's the commentary side wing, sorry. McInerney fighting hard. Chera gets out the back to Sard. Now Boyd. He just thumps it back long inside the forward 50 again. Lions have the numbers. Curnow has the space. He can't grab it. Now he lets it go. Dragged down there by a couple of Lions. And a ball called again. 6 minutes to go. One team gets eliminated tonight. One team will be in the MCG next week. Pitnet slaps it out towards Kennedy. He breaks out, does well. Gives it back to Hewitt. He snaps a high ball towards the top of the goal square to Koenig. Sits under it, almost dragged it down. Now hits the ground, Dunkley. Gets a handball away to Zorko, who gets dragged down without it. Play on. Bailey gives it off to Coleman. Always cool in this situation. He's been one of their best tonight for the Lions. Ball towards the wing. Marchbank gets back first. Handballs towards Chera. Now Wiedering gets the 1-2. Chera. He's looking for a player in, but he has no one. Eventually, he finds Newman. Newman has an option over the top in Doherty. They have a chance here, the Blues. He takes a couple of stutter steps and kicks it inside the forward 50, but it's all Brisbane. Wilmot stands up, the young kid. Played every game this season. Brisbane just need to chew a couple of minutes off the clock if they can. Wilmot in short to Gardner. Gardner back. Finds Zorko. And Zorko goes in short to Wilmot. Just under 5 minutes now. Wilmot high ball towards the wing. It's a very wide ball. In fact, I think it's gone on the full. No, it stayed in bounds. McGovern got met hard there by Archie. All legal in it. He got a really bad corky though, McGovern. So Jared Lyons has been subbed into the game. Unsure of who's been subbed out at the moment. But back at the stoppage, Akers handballs it forward to space. McKenna, in fact, has taken it over. McGovern is in serious pain right now from that corky. It's going to be really hard to shake that off in 4.5 minutes. This may be game done for McGovern. McInerney takes it out of the ruck and slams it forward. If the Lions in front is Joe Danaher. Looking for the 50, didn't get it. So Joe Danaher has the ball on the wing. Chris Fagan scratching at the few hairs he has on his head. So now Joe Danaher calling everyone to go into the pocket. He knows that's the safety net. Marchbank went up. Good mark. He knows he has to go. Inside kick to Doherty. He fumbles at the crucial stage. A chance to send the Lions into the granny. Oh, hit the post again from McCluggage. The Lions just can't put the Blues away. They're still in this one. 17 points. Just under 4 minutes to go. Long ball from Wiedering, cut off by Coleman. He's been their best. Handball to Gardner, he missed it. An unlikely goal source to send him into the grand final. McCarthy takes it on the line. I can't believe that Gardner has had his goal stolen. What an unlikely goal it would have been from Darcy Gardner. But McCarthy, the one thing he's done here is he will take 30 seconds off the clock. What a story Lincoln McCarthy was. He had so many injuries early in his career. Couldn't get a game at Geelong. He went up to Brisbane to try and reinvigorate his career. And now, marks a ball on the goal line. He's going to take the full 30 here, Lincoln McCarthy. To send the Brisbane Lions into a grand final. McCarthy comes in. The chant of the Lions goes around the ground. And he drills it home. Brisbane fans, book your tickets. You're into the grand final. $23 points the difference. 2 minutes 50 to go. Brisbane have kind of faltered in this last quarter. They haven't put Carlton to bed, but that very well has. McInerney got it stolen from him. Walsh did well, gets the clearance. The Blues aren't done just yet. Long ball towards Cottrell, takes the mark. He's got to go back quick here, Matt Cottrell, and kick the goal. So Matt Cottrell, He's had a couple of big kicks in his career, none bigger than this. Cottrell comes in. Absolute shank. It didn't look that good off the boot. It almost went through, but it's through for a point. So now McKenna goes long towards the wing. Free kick will go to Carlton for a push in the back. Marchbank plays on now. They know they have to go. Sends the ball inside the forward 50 with an absolute floater. Sitting under it was Martin. Couldn't bring it down. Neil. He's been good all night. He's going to lead from the front. Out to Fletcher. Fletcher, a little bit of rush of blood. Went long with the kick towards Cameron. He takes the mark. Good decision to come back off his mark. Sends the ball long inside the forward 50. It's a terrible kick. And Chincotta gets there first. Minute 45 on the clock. Goes to Boyd. Boyd goes straight down the middle. Pack of players form. Coleman and Cripps are there. DeConing slaps it forward. Curnow dragged down from Coleman. And what a career best game we've seen from Kitty Coleman tonight. He's had some good games in his career, but he's been good. McInerney slaps it down to Dunkley. Kicks inside the forward 50. Spoiled away there from Rayner. Cameron running onto it. Left it behind. Sard. Gives a little bit of space. Handballs towards Kennedy. Now Walsh. Walsh inside to Cripps. Let it go. Neil out the back towards McCluggage. Free kick will go to Lockie Neal. They're there now, Brisbane. Lockie Neal tells everyone to calm down. Lockie Neal goes long inside the forward 50. Great mark from Newman. Out wide to Marchbank. Marchbank into Cripps. Now Walsh. Goes long with the kick inside the forward 50. Curnow sits under it. Martin gets in front. So Jack Martin's going to line up for a goal. It's all a consolation prize now, though, for the Blues. Jack Martin had a brilliant second half of the season. They won 2 big finals. Martin comes in and he's got it. They've kicked 3 goals in this final term, the Blues. But they didn't come to the game in the second and third, and that's probably cost them in the end. The Blues should be proud, though. They've done brilliant this season to come from where they were midway through. They were 15th on the ladder to then be matching up in a prelim. And only a couple of goals away from a grand final. Chant of the Lions goes around the ground. The umpire bounces it down in the middle of the Gabba. It's been a fortress all year, but they're going to have to take this trip to the MCG. They're finally there. The Brisbane Lions are into the grand final. And what a massive performance it's been. They may be underdogs next week, but they give themselves every chance. The Lions are through. What a win from the Brisbane Lions. A terrible start to this game. They fought back. What a fight back it was. And the Lions are through to the grand final against the Pies, like it was in 2001, 02 and 03. In 2023, fucked it. The Collingwood Magpies will be up against the Lions. Alrighty, guys, that will be the end of the stream now. Thanks for watching. Podcast will be out probably on Monday this week because of obviously the game finishing tonight and the grand final and everything, and the Brownlow being on Monday as well. So I'll be trying to stream the Brownlow as well. So make sure to join us for that. Thanks for watching today. Congratulations to Brisbane for making the grand final. Commiserations to Carlton. They did their best. They came into this game like a steam train. Unfortunately, I think the better team won. First versus second in the grand final. It's great to see. But guys, that is all from me. So I will catch you all next